Okay, so what we have here is a question some of you have for problem number 5 in the homework, which is denoted as section 01. So we want to talk about this problem, and clearly this is a piecewise, it's a function composition evaluation. So in order to do the discussion, I do need to know f of what am I trying to evaluate. Therefore, I need to know what is g of 0 first. This is a graph of g, and by looking at this, it's not super obvious to me where is the graph of the function intersecting with the y-axis. Actually we can. It's here, so we can read the value relatively easily. So what we end up with is that g of 0 for the first particular case is -1, right? This point in particular is 0, -1. So once I find that, I realize when the function asks me what's f of g of 0, it's actually asking me what's f of -1. So I go to the graph of f, and I find when the input is -1, my bad. When the input is -1, my output is also -1. This point in particular is -1, -1. So I ended up with -1. So that's how we can do the calculation. Well, some of you might have a problem which is slightly non-intuitive. Why did I say that? It's because you are not able to read the function value directly from the graph. If that's the case, then you will have to evaluate your function by finding this expression of the function first. So to clarify what I meant by that, let's pretend the graph of your g function looks like this. So I'm still trying to answer this, but pretending the graph of my function looks slightly different. For example, my function might look like this. And I know one point on the graph, which is, I don't know, I'm making things up, -1, 0. And I have another point on the graph, which I can read, and I know the input is 2, 3. So it's not super obvious to me when I try to find g of 0, where exactly is this point. If you cannot read directly from the graph, please do not guess. Please find the expression of this function first. It is a line. You know 2 points from a line. You should be able to find the equation of the line relatively easily. So the way we do it is rise over run gives me the slope. The slope is 3 minus 0 over 2 minus -1, which is 3 over 3, which is 1. So that's a slope. And you pick whichever point you like to use. You can use this point, so y minus 3 equals 1 times x minus 2. Namely, y is the same as x minus 2 plus 3. So that's the expression of this line here. And now if you say, hey, what if x is 0? Well, if x were 0, y would be 0 minus 3 minus 2 plus 3, which would be 1. Hence, 0, 1. So this point is 0, 1. Namely, g of 0 is supposed to be 1. So if you cannot read the g value from the graph directly, for example, if my graph were like this, if I'm asking you where exactly is this point, you may say, that's not obvious, right? So the way to do it is to use 2 points, so you can find the equation of the line connecting them. Then you can plug the x value into it. So it helps you to find the corresponding y value. You can use point slope formulation, and you find the slope by using rise over run. So once you find the equation of the line, you plug x value, you find the corresponding function value. So you know what's this, you can plug it into your f function, so you know what's f of that. Well, you may be facing similar challenges. You might end up with saying, hey, what exactly is f of, I don't know, f of 2.3, right? So you may say, I don't really know what's f of 2.3, but I do know f of 2 is 1, f of 3 is -10. With those two known points, you can find the equation of this line. Once you find the equation of that line, you plug in x being 2.3, then you know the y value. So bottom line, it's the problem you have are randomly generated. Some of you are lucky, so you have a point that's easy to evaluate. Some of you need to go over this procedure of identifying the expression of that particular line, so you can find the corresponding points. So hopefully this helps you to solve all the problems in or variation of problem number 5 in your homework.